Welcome back to the podcast. Here we are. It is you and I and us, and we're all here.
Yeah, I guess we're here.
Yep. Um, how's everybody feeling today? What did you do today?
I went to visit my parents. I helped my dad get groceries for my grandma,
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
had a great time. Played with a dog.
Hell yeah.
Folks, you should always play with dogs. They're fun. They're fun little dudes. They're quirky little guys, you know.
Quirked up dogs, goated with the sauce.
Exactly.
Butter dog.
Butter dog?
with the butter.
I,
Have
you know,
you guys seen that?
Yeah. Put the butter on.
I think I've seen it. I don't know.
Oh my god. You would know.
I was gonna say, today
You
for
just don't
me.
get it.
Fine, okay. I don't get the butter dog. Put the butter on the dog.
Dog
No.
with the butter on.
Yep. That,
What? You got something to say?
can't get something as simple as dog with the butter on it. You know, maybe we don't need to explain it to you.
Okay.
So we're going to be very elitist about butter dog for no reason.
Elitist about memes.
I'm
That's so funny.
gatekeeping butter dog.
Imagine.
Yeah,
I am officially gatekeeping butter dog. You'll never understand it.
I think memes are better off gatekept. That's my hot take right now.
I completely disagree.
Gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep, butter dog.
You completely disagree. So you're the kind of guy that wants the rage faces of the world to be open and accessible to everybody.
I didn't say that.
Listen, Chase, you're never going to get the invite to my secret Wojak maker Discord.
Butter dog?
Wait, Chase. I'll be so cool when I draw you as a Wojak.
Butter dog?
You fool! I have drawn you as the dopey, seething Wojak, and myself as the mighty, articulate Chad. You're doomed, my good man. Doomed, I say.
Have you ever watched Over the Garden Wall?
I have not.
Wait, you mean
the voice you just
made?
With
the animals?
What? Yeah, the voice you just it has animals in it, but your voice reminded me of like insane guy who's in the third episode who's just like, there's a woman in the walls. And he just look, you gotta watch it. Never mind.
What do you mean third episode? I thought it was a movie.
Over the Garden Wall is a series. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about like?
Oh, I'm thinking about Over the Hedge. No,
yeah, I was like that. Wait, what?
Yeah,
listen, it's very close. I don't understand. I think you can excuse me for thinking it's the same thing for a second.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sorry. What are they both start with?
Over.
And
the word. The garden.
The garden.
But okay. But what is a garden wall?
A wall.
That's right. A hedge.
No.
I mean, sometimes it's literally just a wall. It doesn't need to be.
One of these has Bruce Willis in it. One of them does not. All right, we'll move on.
I really feel like we've gotten away with a whole lot of things.
Sorry, I was playing.
Do we want to do curse drinks? Are we sure we don't want to do curse drinks? Because
I'm not feeling curse drinks. They can wait for it. It's not like they understand. It's not like they understand what they're deprived of.
You want to know what I did today?
That's true. What did you do today, Chase?
I went to work.
Went to the beach
at 5 a.m. and then I went to the beach and slept on the beach like I was homeless.
Told you.
I slept in my work clothes.
Sometimes. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even get dressed for the beach. I didn't go out there to have a good time. I went out to the beach to fall asleep. And then I woke up.
Trent Reznor special.
Does Trent Reznor do that?
Sounds like
No, but he has a very famous bit where he is at a Nine Inch Nails concert and he's like, "Hey, is everybody here? Are we all ready? Are we ready to have a good time?" And everyone cheers and he says, "Well, too fucking bad. That was the last band. That was the last guys. Wrong fucking band." And he presses a button and a really fucked up chord starts playing.
Hell yeah.
That's what I associate with the word "good times."
Hell yeah.
Trent Reznor being insane. Hell of a guy.
It's funny.
I
Hell
love
of a
that
man.
one movie
What? Well, one movie?
with a good time. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're on another planet. Look, I woke up on the beach like an hour ago, okay? We gotta slow things down for
Okay,
me.
whatever. Oh, you know what? It's not good time.
I'm so lost
I
right
don't know how
now.
to respond to that.
Yeah, I'm so
know,
lost
yeah.
right now.
Sorry, I was thinking Fast Times at Ridgemont, not good
Oh
time.
my
Oh
god!
my
How did you
god.
even get the fucking thing
Sorry, this is
wrong?
gonna be my bit for the day.
Yeah, just going insane slowly
Everything
but
wrong.
surely. Like you're just listening to Maxie is like listening to a dementia patient. Like sometimes it's just
Literally.
you're just rattling off like, oh
It's like
yeah,
that
was
one.
it? Is there a movie called Manhunt? Like yes, Maxie. Well, I mean, what movie are you talking about? It's always a book, Maxie. Are you sure there's not a movie called Manhunt? Yes, Maxie, there's a movie called Manhunt.
No. There's a movie and the book, and it's called Manhunt. Maxie,
Oh, yeah, speaking of
Are you
movies,
thinking of Goodwill Hunting, Maxie? Oh, you know what? Yeah.
I thought it was Bad Guy. Okay, so speaking of
Dude, what are
movies,
you
I have a
talking
movie.
about?
Let me hear it. I want to hear. I want to
Okay.
hear what he means
What
by
are you-
speaking of movie.
Sorry,
Continue.
sorry. I was just saying, since we're on the subject of movies, have you ever seen like a scene of a movie on television and then just don't ever know where it's from, and then you've never seen it again?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, but for the most part, I get sometimes inexorably trapped in watching something, and then it is like if it's a movie, it gets stuck in my conscious forever, and then I'll be like, "Oh, that was a really weird movie," and I'll watch the entire movie in its entirety, not knowing what the movie was until about 5 or 6 years later, where I find out what the movie is, and then find out that it is extremely famous because it's extremely contentious and bad. I'm of course talking about Bordello of Blood,
You know what?
the most famous bad movie of all time.
I didn't believe you until you said it was really bad, and I was like, "Damn, Riley would do something."
You're right. I would do something like that. It is very much on my brand to get obsessed with just really weird bad things because that's all I had. When you're a child, growing up in the middle of goddamn nowhere, knowing nothing but strife and pain and bad country music. Sometimes that's how it be.
Yeah. Yeah,
The reason I brought it up because I think maybe the movie that like I have in my brain that I don't know that I watched, maybe it was Manhunt. Let me check it out.
Oh my gosh.
Entirely possible.
I
We're back on Manhunt again,
Yeah,
baby.
we're back on
You
the
should
bit.
read all viewers should read Manhunt by Gretchen Felcher Martin. I will
I
not tell you it's in that
Nope,
book.
it wasn't.
Surprise yourself with it.
I think
Really
that
let it sneak up on you and then strangle you with a garrote.
This Manhunt movie is too oriental for what I remember.
I
Oriental, okay. All right, Captain
So
Professor British.
it just sounds like
yeah.
the title sounds like something that like is what I remember, because I remember like a scene of some dude running from a group, and he was in the woods, and he was like an extremely good hunter or something like that, and he had to like kill him while they were chasing after him.
I'm
But
not gonna lie, Maxie. That is like 7 different
I know that's
canon
why
action
it's
movies.
so hard to
Oh my
tell you
god.
what movie I watched, and I'm never gonna figure it out. I'm just never gonna do it.
It like that is at least 4 or 5 different canon action movies all at the same time, right? Like, in the 80s, if you knew a guy who had like a piece of property and you're like, yeah, I need to make a movie, and some guy you knew was like, I own about 7 acres that looks kind of like with real big trees and stuff. Would that make for a good set? And you're like, yes, Billy Joe Bob, that would make a fantastic movie set. I've got the greatest action movie of all time. Let me get Charles Bronson on the horn. We're about to make a real banger. And it was a banger almost every time.
I have so many questions about so many things that we're talking about.
There's just too many questions.
Yeah, I'm just lost. Look, we're going too fast for me. Can we slow it down? Can we talk about something I would know about?
I mean, what do you think you would know about?
What's your
Oh.
favorite Disney movie then, Shay?
Oh my
What's
god,
going
my
on?
favorite Disney movie is
No, what are you talking about? What I'm not going on to the Disney movie. What the fuck were you gonna say beforehand?
I don't know. I was just gonna say something like, I was gonna say, y'all watch Adventure Time at all?
Oh my god.
I have not.
All right. Well, there's a
Not in
new.
any serious capacity.
I have watched like one episode of Adventure Time, and it is always the one with the Magic Man,
Oh yeah,
the one guy who's like a huge dick. That's the
yeah.
only ones that I've ever watched. The ones with Magic Man. That's it.
I think
Uh,
nothing makes me more disinterested in watching Adventure Time rather than knowing that it's not really episodic.
I mean, it kind of is. And plus, they're coming out
mean-
with a new series. It's not Adventure Time. It's Fiona and Cake. It's their altered dimensional selves. But
Do you think they just did it to get the fan art porn?
No,
No.
they probably did it because it is a easy piece of advertisement and nostalgia.
well,
At least two odd, generations have grown up with Adventure Time, and Cartoon Network needs to keep the lights on because
Well,
they are out of money.
it's
Oh my god.
actually on
The other
HBO.
day, someone
Yes,
tried
that's the same
to
thing.
Oh,
someone tried to tell me
Oh.
that the Blue Beetle character, like the superhero Blue
Uh-huh.
Beetle, was niche. And I'm just sitting there like, what do you mean? Like niche as in nobody knows about it, and they're like basically saying, yeah, they've never heard about Blue Beetle.
it's
So
like you've
Blue
never.
Beetle didn't exist for that entire time frame, and it was like an underground superhero. And I'm
That-
like, brother, if they're putting this motherfucker in Teen Titans Go, I don't think he's niche.
Also, that's like saying I've never listened to rap before, but Nas, I don't know who that is. That's a pretty
Kendrick
niche
Lamar.
guy.
Okay, all right, that is a thing that my boss has done, but my boss is like an ancient million bajillion year old boomer. So like at least he has an excuse of being a gajillion year old boomer who has unironically said the words like there's never been a good rapper since Tupac.
What?
So that's the level we're
weird.
working on.
You know, a lot of people do that, and it's
Yeah.
very weird to me.
Yeah, it's very
The,
cringe.
Also, people with fucking mumble rap. I can't tell what they're saying, so this is bad. Shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? But anyway, like this dude's like 30 years
Cracker.
old. Yeah, fucking cracker, saltine, bitch, Nilla monkey.
Snow roach.
Yeah, snow roach, mayo monkey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
But
mayo
they're
golem.
like 30
mayo
years
golem.
old.
You,
That's
you
like-
and you and your perfidious and mayo golem. I don't know, Riley. Something's
Something's up about you. I don't think I like it.
Okay,
But
go ahead though. What were you
They're
saying?
like 30 years old. They're like not boomer, and they're like talking about shit like, oh hey, I never the only thing that the world revolves around is me, and it's like a bus moment. Where it's like, oh hey, things don't exist unless I make them exist.
I mean, you
It's like,
remember
shut the fuck up.
you remember that old friend we had in Discord a while ago who we were like, "Hey, you know Michael Jackson, right?" And they're like, "No."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's living under a rock. At least they didn't like pretend that their worldview
Yeah.
was like Oh, because they didn't know who Michael Jackson was, they're nobody. They just legitimately didn't know who that was, as concerning as that is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that there are people out there who like love to pretend that I don't know. Why even talk about a subject at that point, you know?
Like, I'm all for not engaging in anything superhero related because it's all dog shit, like 99% of the time. But don't, like, there's something that rubs me the wrong way when you're like, yeah, this thing is a niche or that nobody knows about this thing. And then you look at it and it's like made in 1960s or something like that. And it's existed until now and it's still in popular
I
media.
would say that
Like,
like the
shut
only
the
thing,
fuck up.
the only counterpoint that I would have to that is like, you know, there's plenty of stuff that gets made nowadays that people just like don't fucking know about, even if it's on like Netflix, and it's like, or it gets like put on like the front page of like the New York Times or a whole lot of other things, like
Sorry, the only thing I care about from the New York Times is the crosswords, baby. Let's go. You want to do a
I thought you were
crossword?
about to say like Iraq War apologia or something like that, but then I realized that I am the only one who knows that any of those opinion writer types of opinion writers exist. So
No, I choose to actively ignore their existence. It is.
yeah, that's that is the best case. That is a very good decision. All of those people suck. Just not good. The
Yeah.
bad eggs, folks.
Yeah,
Bad
right.
eggs.
The world's your time on this earth is too limited to read about that. But you know what? It's not too limited for. That's right, a 7-letter word, baby.
Well,
I mean, at least the crossword puzzles are fun. I don't think that like hearing a guy, say some shit like, "Oh, listen, it was good. That's right. Shooting depleted uranium at Iraqis."
I'm going to. No, I was going to go somewhere with that, but no, I don't know.
I
I'm not going to cook anymore.
I like reading articles on like the New York Times and stuff when they're like Hillary Clinton lost because young people are too lazy to vote. Those are my favorite articles.
Joe Biden will really improve our relations with China.
No, they hate improving relations with China or Cuba or any other country. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
only like it when blood happens. They're like blood, blood, blood,
I'm
blood.
pretty sure, like, the thing is, I'm pretty sure they did something like that because I remember having to do a project on it in school where, like, my poli sci teacher for like Asian relations or something like that specifically asked the question if you thought Joe Biden would be good for like Chinese affairs, pretty much, and like amending poor relations with them. And I'm like, you gotta be a dumb motherfucker to think this guy who's xenophobic is gonna amend Chinese relationships.
I mean, like that's like the whole I don't know, that's like America's whole like propaganda thing, right? Like they got to find somebody.
Yeah, like you got to kill a lot of people. That's all that the New York Times really seems to care about a lot of the times is, how can we best use our writing and our opinions to make the world a, you know, verifiably worse place to live in. Yeah, if we're not constantly making the world a worse place to live in, what are we doing with our life?
Yeah.
Etc. Etc.
Oh, man.
We got on a doomer top again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to talk about mixed
It's your fault.
drinks?
Oh yeah, let's talk about mixed drinks.
I uh
Oh, Riley, okay.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
Last
uh-huh.
night I was up 3 a.m.
Okay.
I
All
thought
right.
to
I like the
myself,
story already.
Maxie, you're pretty hungry. You know what's in the fridge? That's right, a hot dog. There's 2 hot dogs waiting for you in the fridge. So I go downstairs, I start making my hot dog. I put it in the pan. I don't want to reheat it in the microwave because I hate meats reheated in the microwave. It's just something off about it.
mhm.
I'm like, you know what would be a good idea? And I go downstairs and I get a Modelo, Riley.
Uh-huh,
But the
uh-huh.
entire time while I was making the hot dog, I was like, before I even determined I was even going to reheat the hot dog or whatever, I cracked open a nice cool can of Mountain Dew. And so I opened the Mountain Dew, sip it on it, put the hot dogs in the pan, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna steam these hot dogs and put a little Modelo in it, just so I'm like, cooking it with the beer, and it'll be like nice and little tasty and a little juicy, Put a little top on it, pour the Modelo in, and I think to myself, oh hey, the Modelo, it's just gonna get all warm and gross if I just leave it there.
Yeah.
So I take both of the Mountain Dew and the Modelo, and I pour it into the same glass to make my concoction of the Modulo. So how does that make you feel, Riley? You like my Modulo creation?
My brain is saying you
Like,
need
let me
to
show
say
you
the
a
word
picture.
modulo oblongata. But otherwise, I am cringing, nonstop cringing all the time.
Here, let me show you
The
the
evil
image.
of the world is here, constantly confronting me. Oh, why do you have an image of the mod? Oh God, it looks like piss.
It's
Oh God.
I've had worse.
I mean, yeah, I bet you have.
He's like, yeah, I'm sure you have, you
I could only
disgusting.
assume you've had worse. This is terrible.
All right, then check my hot dogs.
Okay, the hot dogs are okay. That's fine. Are those grape tomatoes
What?
or olives?
Those are olives.
Oh, thank God. I was about to say, wait a minute. Are those grapes, like literal actual grapes you
That'd
put
be
on the hot
fine.
dogs?
Should have did
I
that.
I hate that you're going to now find a way that you, in your infinite terribleness, are going to just make me see the grape dog. Dog with the grape.
Dog with a grape on it. It's gonna
Butter
be
dog?
Dog with a grape on it.
Butter
Grape
dog?
dog. Dog with a grape on it.
Oh my
Oh
God.
shit! I'll do a hot dog and I'll put Concord grape on one side and then I'll put peanut butter on the other with some ketchup on top.
That would by its nature be butter dog with a butter, just not the butter that we want. not the butter that you hope for.
I'm uncomfortable thinking about Concord grapes and hot dogs.
Think about how gooey it is together with a nice little crispy hot dog exterior.
Nice pop when you bite into it. To go with the pop of the Frank as you chew through the casing of the hot dog.
This is a truly off the rails episode. This is a truly.
There's no rails to put on. I had
no
suggestions for topics, and you shot them all down.
I didn't shoot anything down.
About gross things. You know what's a good gross topic to talk about that Riley wanted to talk about? The salty lassie.
Oh yeah, get him in. Salt me up, baby. Get that salty lassie in there.
All right.
You wanted to go over the story? You wanted to give it to him?
Now that I'm worked up for it, I thought it'd be a few weeks, but I was talking about the hot dog with the butter on it. Now I can bring it up. So the salty lassie.
Right? All right, hold on. I'll paint the picture. I'll let you tell the story, okay? It's a Friday afternoon. It's me. I'm painting the picture. Nobody knows.
See, I don't.
Nobody knows.
Let him paint, Max.
Let me paint.
Lying to the viewer.
You're full of shit.
That might be
you
true.
don't care about the viewer.
I want to emotionally manipulate the viewer into them giving me their
donate your money now. If you like us, if you want me to sleep on the beach again,
Jeff, I like you. I wish I had a little bit more money though.
All right.
Hey, Sarah.
Pulls out a gun. Jeffrey, we have your kids.
No. Okay.
I'm your best
friend. Riley, no,
not
that type of emotional manipulation, please.
Was this taken? All right, look. All right. It's
Diane, you'll know that I have a particular set of skills.
It's podcasting and asking my viewers for money at gunpoint.
Other people will be like, "Hey, we're not friends. Hey, if you've given me money, just know we're not friends. Hey, baby, we're friends. Give me a little bit more money.
Hey, look right here.
I'm like,
you
we
give
are
me
not
money.
friends, but I also have your children. I require at least 7,000 Patreon dollars a month for this relationship to continue.
Listen, I'll emotionally manipulate you into order achieve my own means. That's right.
I thought you were gonna say into ordering me a cheeseburger. I said that
please.
is so
Ordering me a
true.
pizza.
That is
Hey,
so
viewer,
true.
you got a couple of dollars? I could
I've
use
gotten
some
Buzz to
chicken
get me like
wings, you know?
3 pizzas, I think.
I'm gonna put a buy me a coffee link in the description of this episode.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So is it just like going to a fund? Is it just to go into your bank and then
I
being
don't know
like,
how
oh,
it
hey,
works.
this
Here, let me
money's
look it up.
Okay.
Buy me a coffee.
Yeah, it's like you select like a PayPal or
Oh, yeah.
like a bank.
Oh, so
Buy
it's
me-
literally just a okay, so it's just a money
Like
funnel.
a tip jar.
So these people aren't actually getting coffee.
Wow,
with it,
that's
they're just being paid.
that is so messed up.
I actually think that's a little messed up. Fuck
Yeah.
them.
That is like
Get a coffee. I specifically gave you
yeah,
that money.
I thought this was for coffee funds only. I didn't realize this was a sham. That this was some sort of
How
highway
dare
robbery.
you bring me into your house of
like-
lies, coffee man?
I
Yeah.
feel like you're over exaggerating, but I'm being 100% serious.
I'm not.
Right now.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I actually
Being
feel
so honest. Like, just put a donation. Like, don't say give me a coffee, you son of a bitch. I thought I was giving you like a little. I thought I was giving you a little money to go to Starbucks and get like maybe a croissant and like a little drink.
Croissant.
But now,
Excuse
I'm
me.
just feeling like I'm just giving you money to give you money. Piss
Excuse
off.
me. Do you have a can I have your croissant? Okay.
You know the
Are you
Carl
going to finish your
thing
croissant?
from Jimmy Neutron where he's got Jimmy's mom in a jar.
Oh. Oh.
Neutron.
Oh no.
Hello, Mrs. Neutron. That's such a good fucking.
All right. So it's a Friday
They were
afternoon.
It's Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon. It's October.
It was
It's
raining.
cold. It's cold. It's
There have been
raining.
murders on the street.
And into this Indian restaurant walk in me, Smuggi, and our parents. And we get a booth. We sit down one at a time, and we order our drinks. Father orders Coke, something sweet but yet fattening. I order a mango lassi. Smuggi orders a salty lassi. And my mother orders a sweet tea.
I feel like you thought you were cooking with this one. I don't think it's going that.
What do you mean, Riley? Am I cooking?
Oh, it's okay.
I was just setting the scene. What do you mean I'm cooking?
I'm not
What am I
liking
trying
it.
to cook?
It's making me feel all like certain types of ways.
You're like your deep timbre of your voice is making
And like,
me very
do the
uncomfortable.
viewers even know what a lassie is? Like, you gotta.
Oh my god.
I feel like you didn't really
Oh.
lay a good scenery out for anybody because it's just. I feel like they're missing key context, especially if they're a fucking mayo monkey, you know. Like what the hell? They'll be like, "What the goddamn hell's a salty lassie?"
What
A
the
salty-
goddamn?
Or
salty-
they'd be like, "Hey,
Why's that lassie
what the
so
hell
salty?
is a salty lassie?"
A salty lassie. Hey, let me buy that with my credit card on Grubhub. Panda moment. What does a salty lassie taste like?
What is a lassie? What is a lassie?
I don't know.
A yogurt-based drink.
Okay.
From India.
Okay.
Like that's all they need to know. You
Well,
could.
I said we walked into an Indian restaurant.
Yeah,
and
but
we ordered a salty lassie. I ordered a mango lassie. Google it. I'm not Google. I'm not Google. I don't care.
Hey, I'm Googling over here.
I was about to explain it. A salty lassie
Sure you were.
with roasted cumin powder
Grow up.
with a creamy and smooth taste.
Bah. Speaking of, I hate cumin.
I love cumin.
I love cumin. You're in the isolated group
you're in the
here.
minority here, brother.
Yeah.
That is
I'm allergic to it.
entirely possible. It's true.
Because
But anyway,
whenever
so
I taste
you order a salty lassie, Max.
hold on, let me finish this up. Whenever I taste
Okay.
like a French or Montreal seasoning for like steaks or something,
Mm-hmm.
as soon if it's just even a modicum of fucking cumin powder or cumin flake on it,
A mod of what?
So you order a salty lassie.
So we order a
I'm gonna
salty lassie.
scream.
So we
I'm
order
gonna
a
fucking
salty
scream.
lassie. So here we
You're a
are.
piece of shit, you know that?
So
I don't give a damn, motherfucker. I'll kill you.
So here we are in a restaurant. Maxie orders a salty lassie. I order a mango lassie. My mango lassie tastes like mango. It tastes like yogurt. It is delicious. It is sweet. And then what happens?
I assume the salty lassie does not taste very appetizing at all.
No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah, I think I specifically remember taking a big swig out of the salty lassie and then like immediately stopping as soon as it like hits my tongue and going, that is the most vile dog shit I've ever had in my mouth.
And then we're all like, "What, is it bad?" And then Smuggy's like, "Yeah, it don't I don't know." And then he passes it to me. And much like any other trained professional, I just gun that shit. I just start, give it one good sip, and I'm like, "Oh, oh, oh, that's not right." And then I pass it back to Smuggy, and then Smuggy proceeds to take another sip of the salty lassie. And it's not an appealing name, but it's definitely not a bad drink. Usually, at least you would think. But yeah, go ahead and describe it for us.
Well, so when you think salty lassie and a yogurt drink, you probably think something like a caramel with like salt on it, to like bring out a salty flavor with some sweets and some like yogurty baselines. But that's not what we had. I don't know what happened, but when when we all took a swig of that salty lassie, it was essentially like we were drinking dirty dishwater with fish scales in it.
Yeah, it was like 3-week old yogurt, like unrefrigerated with dishwater accidentally like slopped into it. Like the guy who was cleaning the dishes was like, "Hey, can I use this? Can..." So they came up to the dishwasher and they're like, "Hey, can I use this cup? Is this clean?" And he's like, yeah, I think so." And he didn't look to see which cup he was talking about, so he just grabbed the one with like halfway filled dishwater and then poured the bad yogurt in it, and then
Hey, don't use that cup. That's my toxic waste cup.
Like, no, literally, because what happened as soon as that shit hit the table and I took the first sip of it, we lost all interest in doing anything else but continually trying to understand if the salty lassie was indeed as bad as what we tasted the first time.
Yeah, we ended
So
up.
we took we would take a sip and go like we would be gagging. We would be fucking gagging as soon as it hit our mouth. And we'd be like, no, it's that bad, it's that bad. And then I'd pass it off, and then Chase would get it, and he would go, and then my dad would be like, no way it was that bad the last time. Like, I know I took a sip, but there's no, and he'd take a sip and he'd go,
and then the waiter comes up and he goes, "You like it?" And we're like, "No, this is terrible.
This is dog shit. What have you done to my brain?"
And like our mom's like, yeah, the difference between men and women is that a woman sees you gag on it, and then and then I don't take a sip, but you guys just keep sipping it. But don't worry, I made that motherfucker crack. They took a sip.
Yeah. You know, some, and then like we're in a restaurant and it's an Indian restaurant, and like white people don't really have like good taste buds in comparison to the rest of the world, so it's like I didn't want to seem like, oh, this is just like us not enjoying like a cultural meal or this or that, you know, like something that's really popular or frequent from another culture. We go back to this restaurant like a month later.
And we
We
hyped the Salty Lassie up like kind of like we did here. We were
mm-hmm,
like talking to
mm-hmm,
Steven, and Steven
mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, you gotta understand that there's this fucking dog shit drink, and you need to taste it before you leave." And like
Yep.
that's the only reason we even went back was because the drink was so bad that someone else had to experience it to understand how bad the drink was.
If you're like, you don't understand. I need to inflict this on you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody
like
else needs to taste this because this feels like a experience that was meant for like everyone and it was only obtained by like 3 people. So we really need you to try this. Like it,
that's pretty much what we said to like Steven when they came down and it, like with their girlfriend at the time, and we were just gonna eat at that restaurant, and we get in and we order the Salty Lassie. It was fine.
there's nothing wrong with it. It tasted delicious. I was like, "Wait, hold on. What?" And then it hits you cuz you're like, "What did you do to my drink? What did you do to my
What the
drink?"
fuck did we drink? What the fuck was wrong with our drink that made it so terrible? Did we drink toxic waste?
Like
Did they
literally
actually put
like
dishwater in the fucking drink?
yeah. I think
I think that's gotta be what they did because there's no other way to get that fucking disgusting like
oh, it
water,
was bad.
dishwater, soap, fish taste.
Yeah.
And
Like
like,
it does genuinely sound like they used a glass that they didn't do, or like somebody threw the fucking glass in the dish and then it like just forgot to wash it, and it just had like some sort of soap scum that you had just somehow
but
there.
you would think that like parts of the drink would be fine though because it's a yogurt based drink, so it's dense, so only some parts of it touching the glass would be disgusting. That's just not the case. It was not the case. The entire thing tasted like shit.
Yep.
I
Uh,
mean, that is kind of impressive in a sense.
it was one of those experiences where you look back, and none of us got ill. I'll say that none of us got ill, so it wasn't bad enough to where it was going to kill us. It was just bad enough to where it
You were
was.
gonna puke.
Yeah, you were
Like
like
if you had more than a little taste at a time, you were going to vomit.
Yep.
And like I'm not one to say this lightly. Like I eat a lot of fucked up shit for a person. I drink a lot of fucked up shit. That like I drank a Modulo for God's sake. This shit sucked. This shit was bad.
This shit was extra booty supreme.
Ah,
It was like someone was vindictive about white people being at their restaurant. That's how it felt. You were being bullied in fucking,
I'm
middle
being
school or
help,
something, and they like made you drink toilet water.
help! I'm being oppressed by ordering at this fancy Indian restaurant.
That is
uh,
what a Fox News presenter would do. They'd just be like, "I've been oppressed by being asked to order this chicken. The chicken had turmeric on it. I do not like turmeric. Turmeric chicken. That's communistic in nature." My
but
boss
Is
would say that.
turmeric supposed to taste like anything? Because all I notice when I
what do you
see
mean?
turmeric in something is it turns it yellow, and that's it.
I think it's supposed to taste like
Yeah,
something.
turmeric has a flavor.
Like what's the flavor? Dirt?
Turmeric?
Yeah, it's just like an
Turmeric?
earthy flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like I don't know. Like cumin's got that specific like twang to it that I
Cumin.
fucking
Oh,
despise.
cumin got that cumin in it though.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
got
I'm
that
saying. I
turmeric.
hate that
Yeah,
Turmeric.
shit.
turmeric is like
Turmeric.
Speaking of spices,
okay.
I cannot believe there's so many like spices in the world from all over that just taste like black licorice.
Are you talking
Isn't
about
that
like
kind of crazy?
are you talking about that seed? Like what is it called?
Fennel?
Yeah, fennel seed.
Fennel seed tastes like black licorice. Uh, star anise tastes like black licorice. Like there's so many plants that just taste like black licorice in the world, and they're not even related. Isn't that crazy?
I
That's
mean,
pretty cool, though.
yeah, I think
Like,
that's
it
cool.
kind of gives me a little sadness knowing that like some compounds are just always gonna taste like black licorice to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I think maybe it means that like, licorice is like an alien species that was like planted on Earth and,
Oh, do you think that humans couldn't make the pyramids either?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's just
Humans,
too
they couldn't make
precise.
the
Yeah.
pyramids. They can't. There's no way that humans were able to make Easter egg island heads. The Egyptian pictures, those are actually spaceships.
Yeah.
As long as we're all on the same page.
Humans
Yeah.
couldn't make microwaves. They could also not make humans incapable, utterly incapable
Mhm. Mhm.
of making Kevlar. Not never. Woven armors have never been a thing in human history. Not a thing. Not ever.
Is this a real myth? Is this a real thing people believe that Kevlar wasn't
Yes,
made by
there are
humans?
boomers, if asked, who will tell you that Kevlar is a alien material that was given to humans.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I do think
Uh-huh.
we just lost a generation. You know what I mean? I
What,
But what
think
about
boomers in
that damn
particular, or
silicon? If
yeah,
that
yeah.
silicon was planted,
What?
I'm being a conspiracy theorist. Can you let
What?
me cook for a second?
I don't know what you're talking about.
all right, the silicon conspiracy? All right, all
Yeah,
right.
I'm
What do you
saying
think a good silicon conspiracy would be?
I'm saying the silicon conspiracy is they foreign life forms implanted all the silicon nodes on our planet in order for us to advance to their level.
Hmm.
That's something along the lines of
Like
what
the
I think as
Prometheus
silicon.
aliens from the movie Prometheus.
Yeah, yeah, because like think of all the cool shit we can do with silicon, right?
Yeah.
Do you really think life's that cool without an alien implanting it into your no, it's a conspiracy.
I'm
And you
pretty
know who
sure.
knows
What is
about it?
the United States government is hiding
Joe
the
Biden.
silicon.
Joe Biden knows that
Joe Budden
alien.
knows the secret. Joe Biden could release the JFK tapes, but he refuses to. What is
Yeah.
Joe Biden hiding? Who really used the magic 360 Call of Duty no scope bullet to kill JFK?
You know,
The
uh
Call of Duty no scope bullet is my favorite conspiracy.
the Call of
Did you
Duty
know
no
that they
scope
made
bullet?
like games and like simulations to try to make the JFK bullet like happen, and they like put out like a $2,000+ like reward in order for gamers to actually even get the shot, and they couldn't even do it within their own simulations.
Because their
Y-
simulations are flawed and don't take into account like just a bunch of different things. Like the simulation that you're talking about is inherently flawed because it does not take into account how fast the cars were going, that they slowed down, and it does not take into account that after the first or second shot, I can't remember, that the motorcade stopped.
Yeah.
Like they actually just full stopped, right? And the
Mhm.
Secret
Mhm.
Service agents didn't know what was going on until Kennedy's head exploded.
I could have
And also,
sworn.
a lot of the conspiracies around the Zipruder tapes don't take into account that the Zipruder guy literally testified that he removed like about 2 or 3 frames where you can see Kennedy's head explode.
Uh,
That
y-
seems like the most important part.
Yeah, well, because
yeah.
his whole thing was he didn't know that it was going to be this big historical thing. I mean, obviously it was, but like he just didn't think about that at the time when he was like developing this film. And he's like, I didn't realize that I caught the moment where Kennedy's head explodes, and I was like, oh, this is too. He was like, this is too much for the American psyche. I have to like, I've gotta censor the Zipruder tape so young Americans don't watch their president's head fucking blow up on national television.
Yeah,
Do you know
that's
how
true.
hard that
Yeah,
would
that's
go
true.
though?
It would go very hard, and it would be very historically relevant. But it's like, it's kind of like editing the Bud Dwyer tape to not like show Bud Dwyer shooting himself in the face.
Yeah,
It's like
that's instantly what I thought of.
you're getting rid of the one part that kind of proves that this event happened.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Aside
You
from
already
this,
made the buy me a coffee.
yeah, you like
Hell
the
yeah.
Okay, but
buy me
you
a
gotta
coffee.
Listen, we gotta get in, you know. Look,
Buy me a
gotta
coffee.
hustle
Are
for
we
it.
gonna? Are we actually only gonna get coffee with it? Because I think it'd be very funny.
I think it's our coffee fund.
I am
yeah.
not going to get coffee with it. I'm going to abuse
okay.
it, and I'm
Oh
going to
my
buy
God.
me a Mercedes
So you're a
Benz
piece
like
of shit.
Volkswagen. Correct.
He's got to
I
buy
am.
a
You're
private
piece
jet.
of shit.
He's got
I
to
am
buy
the
a private
heel
jet.
of this podcasting group. I'm the Ric Flair of this podcasting group. I'm only going to be using it for jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, and or dealing. That is the podcast promise.
I'm just gonna get me a little vanilla bean latte, frappuccino, and you're gonna.
Well, I mean, in
you're gonna
between
fuck
kiss
over my.
stealing, you got to get a coffee sometime.
You're gonna fuck over my funds just for your fucking your luxuries, you piece
Yes,
of
my
shit.
jet flying and kiss stealing. Exactly. It's very expensive.
What do you know? What do you usually get at Starbucks?
I don't
Nothing
go to
anymore
Starbucks.
because I can't drink sugar, and most of their stuff involves 20 million metric pounds of cane sugar nowadays. Which,
Yeah.
listen, cane sugar's the superior sugar. Let's not kid ourselves here. But you know,
I usually get
that's,
I usually get something simple. I usually get the green vanilla bean cream frappe with heavy cream, half a shot of soy, lactate milk, 0.14 with cream, usually a venti, no ice, no water. I don't want any of that. Stevia monk fruit. I usually get honey, caramel drizzle, Greek yogurt, coconut flakes, matcha powder, room temperature foam, 34 degrees with the liquid though. Banana, strawberry, 2 protein powders, just the easy stuff.
just the
What
basics.
the f are you talking about?
The basics. I don't like. That's the thing. Like I know that there's like a lot of people who get.
Oh
like,
my god! You know what the worst? You know what the most annoying thing is that I've seen from both ends.
Is it you in the mirror?
Shut up! Shut up! But anyway,
okay.
the Starbucks employees that are like, "Oh, look at me make this grown man their fucking dessert at 6 in the morning or whatever," and I'm just sitting here like, "That's your job."
I would say that like the only I would say that I would only disagree with that insofar that like technically speaking their job is not to get yelled at by really weird people at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, I can
That's true.
understand
about
not
it,
wanting to be yelled at and being treated like a normal person, but like it's like you wake up and you go to Target and then you're like, I can't believe this piece of shit is asking me where an item is in my store.
That is so me
that I
coded though.
work at.
That is so me coded. Hey, can you do your job? Oh my god, can you fuck off?
I would
Like,
say that
I
like
get it.
the only reason that I sometimes do that just because it's like anytime somebody might ask me to do my job at my job, sometimes it's like they're not really asking me to do my job. They're like, "Hey, can you make a miracle happen? Are you okay? Like, hey, do you know? Can you like mentally pull up one of approximately 6,000 parts to find it for me?" Hey, I'm going to tell you like an industry lingo slang for this very specific part. Do you know that one?
Hey, Riley, somebody
It's like
keeps
always
calling.
that kind of stuff.
Somebody keeps calling asking about the Chief Keef. Do you know which one that is? Which part
Hey, Riley,
of the steel
can you
is that?
direct this random steel worker guy to where the steel is picked up? And then I'm like, why didn't you do that? Well, I didn't feel like it. Well, he doesn't speak English, and I didn't feel like trying to like, to literally do literally anything to tell him where everything is. Yeah, felt like that would have been too much work. Could you do it instead?
Look,
Yeah, basically my point is like you work at Starbucks, so I feel like it should be a cold day in hell before you get to complain over somebody like a McDonald's worker or like a
Yeah, that's
Dairy Queen
true.
worker when it comes to like someone who's making fucking weird ass shit constantly all the time.
Also, too, I don't know how often Starbucks employees get yelled at in comparison to like McDonald's employees, because McDonald's employees is like every 3 seconds. You know, it's like, I actually asked for 3 pickles on this burger, not 2. And if you don't take this back, you know, that's usually how every
It's like,
interaction I've ever seen
I
at
am ready to
McDonald's.
commit to declare a fatwa on you specifically because there is one too many minced onions. I only asked for a tablespoon of minced onions, and you gave me more than that. You
Oh.
must die for this.
Oh, you know their asses aren't changing the amount of onion they put on. Like that's one thing I can understand is like when you specifically ask for like certain amounts and they like whatever, you know, they do their job brainless all the time. They're gonna like the ratios every now and then if you ask for something that's like off ratio, but like getting a completely different order and then like, oh, I gotta turn on the ice machine right behind me in order to even start this drink. Grow up, grow up, grow up. It's your job.
Yeah.
I gotta get you a piece of shit job or something, but like, complain that the wage sucks, please.
Unionize. Yeah. Don't complain that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Try to unionize, please. Yeah.
Like,
I,
there was something else that was kind of like that. Like, oh, this fucking person, like, you know, VTubers. Like a lot, yeah. So a lot of people post VTuber shit in another chat I'm in. And this guy was like, "You ever wonder how these fucking VTuber companies stay afloat? Check out this." And he posts like the whole point was to like say the companies take money from like the VTuberies themselves at like a disproportionate rate, like 80-20 for that one thing. And I'm just sitting there like, no, that's not why they stay afloat, because they wouldn't even have to take 80% to stay afloat. All you're trying, like, I get the notion of what you're trying to do, but you sound so dumb right now. Like, I don't know, like shit like that is stressful because they could take like 20% of the other person, like their talent agency, like their talents could take 80%, and as long as they have like the same amount of viewers, they'd probably make bank. Like, I don't know. People will stress me out sometimes, man, with like minor nuance shit like that.
You know, can I say something? This is off topic. Okay. How would y'all feel about having my old professor as a podcast, as a podcast guest?
I don't know. I think it'd be. I have no idea what your old professor. I don't know.
He's a Marxist.
Okay, well, that's kind of fun.
He's a Marxist, and he's writing a book.
I would love to get yelled at by an old Marxist. That's always up my alley as far as interests are concerned.
And he's writing a book about racism in fantasy.
Okay, all right.
And how it's ingrained into it.
I can't believe he's writing a book about us.
Just like, hey, you know, how racist am I allowed to be? Would you find it in poor taste to make an Arabic inspired I don't know, that's you just be like, yeah, well, I mean, depends on how you view the Arabic.
Okay, what if I make an entire city of people only named Ali?
In fairness, the Arabic inspired place I have in setting is not that racist. Thank God.
So, would you let me do an accent? Let's say.
How kosher is like a Jamaican accent?
Yeah, I can't really find anybody in the area. So is it okay if I'm Yama?
No.
Hoodoo da voodoo.
So what if I do an accent of Barack Obama? Is it? So is it?
Let me be clear. We need to get all the orcs out of here.
Until we need to
I'm
get all
deporting-
the orcs out of
I'm
here.
deporting the
Let
orcs.
me be clear. It is absolutely imperative that I continue to firebomb the half-orcs hospital.
God damn it. I mean, that is a very Barack coded thing to do.
Yeah. I can't believe like I can't believe that there's so many races in fantasy, and yet the ones that have really kicked off that are like a huge namestay within fantastical environments are just humans but of different sizes.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what like a lot of people have complained about as far as like
I
Baldur's
hate
Gate
people.
is like
That's what I was saying, man.
yeah, like the
Man.
somebody pointed out that was like, it really sucks that like you have things like Kenku and kobolds and like goblins and everything else and like a whole shitload of stuff. Like
And
they
they had the
the bug
models.
say what?
They had models for like goblins, and you can't even be a goblin.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like I mean that's kind of a problem with the Wizards of the Coast shit in general, is just this steadfast refusal to let any cool shit happen.
Let anybody have fun. Yeah.
Like you can't be anything cool. Like no kobolds. You can't do it. Like the base core rulebook shit is like strictly against anything. Like you just can't do it's I don't know. I
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about it as well, but it's you know.
Yeah. I guess it's just a matter too of like I don't know. I think they like thinking of all the things they would have to program and all the different dialogue that they'd have to write in if you were like a goblin or
I
something.
know. Like there
Like
you develop game development. I'm not even talking about like necessarily like
yeah.
make a lot of it. It's just for me it's some of it kind of comes down to I guess how would I put this? Wizards of the Coast has this thing like I know that like people can keep complaining about this, but every time I have like this sort of stupid conundrum or shit fit about it when I think about it, it always comes down to just like play a different game. And I never try to do that in like a condescending way, but it's like if you want something interesting, if you want to like have this thing be good, you're gonna need to play a different game, right? Like
Yeah.
you're looking at Wizards of the Coast, like they've gotten worse and worse and worse at all of this for like, several decades.
Yeah.
You're looking for a separate game entirely, basically.
Yep. I don't know. I think look, Baldur's Gate is great. Baldur's Gate is fun, but I do think it's missing a lot of things like frog people. Playable frog people. Full orcs instead of half orcs.
Yeah, the half orc full orc shit has always been weird to me. Like just
Yep.
from day one. Like I don't get why people are allergic to the concept of playing as a full orc. Like why do orcs
Well, I
need to
don't
be
think it's
like these
people.
weird monsters? Well, I mean,
Well, no,
Wizards of
not
the
about the
Coast.
orcs. I'm saying like I don't think it's the people playing the game that aren't wanting to play the orcs. It's just Wizards of the Coast not doing it for conceivably no reason.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually, to figure that
Because
out.
like you put a race in the game, people want to play it. It's not like I mean, like fuck. Look at WoW. Like they have fucking like mecha gnome, and you already have gnome in the game that's literally can have mechanized parts, and people still fucking play that shit. Like, if you put a fucking race in a game, people don't care unless you're really making it racist. You know what I like? I just don't see why an option being given to you at the expense of nothing is somehow bad.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even have to add any new dialogue. They could have just added different
Yeah,
races. Yeah.
like you could have just been playing that race. It's not like are there specific dialogues for every single race in the game? I highly doubt it.
Aside
I
from
think
just
like at the
calling
end of
you
the
what
day,
you
it's also
are.
comes down to like creative control and marketability. Because like Divinity 2 had like a lot of really cool races and shit. You play weird, creepy lizard dragon, skeleton and shit. And it's like, oh, what do you want to be? Oh, several colors of people, but not like the cool colored people. It can't be a monster, no thanks.
Yeah.
Weirdest
Well, the
person you
thing
can
is
be,
too.
demon. That's it.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest kind of RPG player, and like I know it's a vast majority, so everybody can get mad at me, is the person who plays a male human fighter, sword and shield, blue eyes, brown hair, and is just playing themselves or whatever in a fantasy world.
I had a
Motherfucker,
I
there's a
had a friend
goddamn
who just
minotaur
did
right
that.
there.
He would do that all the time. His
I
steadfast
can't.
refusal to play as anything but a human because he says, I am a human. Therefore, it is the only thing I know how to roleplay is a human. Like just not wanting to explore a character, not wanting to think of fantastically, just like, no, human. Human only. Not even like a different human than yourself. Like not even like a human with the backstory, just human.
Yeah, I
Period.
can't handle that. Can't handle that.
Like in Joey's game, I am playing a changeling human. Specifically, the entire bit being you're playing a Mortal Kombat style tournament where you're trying to not die as you slowly figure out that there is a bunch of people who are trying to use underhanded means to win this big combat tournament and are like setting up hazards to kill off other people and purposefully you know like preying on other teams that are weaker than them and using underhanded methods and stuff like that. And it's a very dangerous tournament. And my character's whole thing is just like, oh yeah, I'm here because it's the only place that my horrible changeling hag mother is not going to hunt me down to try to kill me. I gotta get more strong so I can 1v1 my true mother who is going to mind control me and make me a pawn. And that's at least more interesting than, all right, I'm a human. What's your backstory? Nothing. Which is why I like Pathfinder a bit more than D&D at least, because there's at least like more options to play as an interesting thing than just different colored human. But you're not like
Yeah.
an interesting different colored human. You're just no, the implication of being a tiefling is enough. You can't make a backstory. Like I get that a lot of role playing stuff and a lot of things like that are also like a some people just aren't very good at yes and or thinking of backstories that would fit for a party or whatever. But this also kind of goes with my idea of like, all right, well, what if you just talked to the other players and see if they have an idea for like a group backstory? Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be cool?
Yeah, wouldn't it
Nah,
be
even
neat?
have that amount of imagination either.
Wouldn't it be neat if you like took the time to develop something that you were going to play for the next 6 weeks or so?
Yeah,
At
like a
least. Yeah.
just have like a little bit more involvement or interest. Why are you
Yeah.
doing the thing if you're not interesting? If you're not interested?
Yeah. But all right. Well, we got to end it sometime here today.
Oh, really? I'm just gonna kill myself right here.
Not like that. I mean, well, I guess, but not like that. Um, yeah. Well, hopefully, once everybody donates us some money for some coffee, we'll be able to get Windigoon on the podcast. Uh, I don't know. Who else did we say? That was a big one.
I don't know.
You don't even remember. Who's the guy
No,
who
I don't
voices
even remember.
Archer?
H. John Benjamin. I think we need
Yeah.
several $1 million for that, I'm afraid.
I think he would come on if we just sent him a nice email.
But we have to convince him to talk to us about birds because he's really into bird watching now.
Dude, that is so sick. We have so much in common. I'm bad at music. He's bad at music.
He
I
likes
like
birds. I
birds.
like
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah. I do bird photography. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
All right.
agree
Well,
with
say your goodbyes, everyone. This is the last time you'll see us.
you. Oh no.
Wait, what?
All right. See you on the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Say bye, Maxie.
Mm-mm.
Say bye.
That's so final. See you next time.
All right. All right. Bye.